Hello everyone. In my previous lectures, I explained about fundamental particles, that is electron, proton, neutron and their characteristic properties. Now in this lecture, I will explain about atomic models, Thomson atomic model and Rutherford alpha ray scattering experiment. Now let us see first Thomson plum pudding model. Thomson model is the first atomic model which explains about the shape of the atom. Thomson model is also said to be plum pudding model or raisin pudding model or watermelon model. Why it is like that? Why it is called watermelon model? It is based on the shape of the and arrangement of the electrons and positive charge in an atom. See, first point is atom has spherical shape. According to Thomson, atom has spherical in shape. Atom must contain spherical in shape in which positive charge is uniformly distributed. Positive charge is nothing but protons. Those positive charge is uniformly distributed throughout the atom like this. Everything is positive charge and that positive charge is uniformly distributed in the atom. That is a statement given by the Thomson model. Next, radius of this spherical shape around 10 power minus 10 meters. The radius, if you observe, that would be around 10 power minus 10 meters. Electrons, positive charge is uniformly distributed. And what about electrons? Electrons are embedded in the sphere. Electrons are embedded means randomly they are arranged. If you see, electrons are arranged like this. Randomly electrons are embedded. Just like if you cut the watermelon in the middle, the total red color portion is said to be positive charge and black seeds are electrons. That's why it is said to be watermelon model. Here this is positive charge or positive mass, and these are electrons. These are electrons. So this is a simple Thomson model. Atom must contain spherical in shape. Inside the spherical shape, positive charge is uniformly distributed and electrons are randomly distributed. Just like black seeds are embedded into the red portion of the watermelon. That's why it is said to be watermelon model also. Now, main important point about the Thomson model is that he assumed that most of the atom or mass of the atom, most of the space of the atom is mass. Mass of the atom is assumed to be uniformly distributed over the atom. If you want to see where the mass of atom is located, according to Thomson, total mass of the atom is located uniformly throughout the atom. That is the main statement given by him. Mass of the atom is assumed to be uniformly distributed over the atom. Total mass is not concentrated in one particular place. The total mass of an atom uniformly distributed throughout the atom. That is a statement given by the Thomson model. But this is one of the drawback or limitation. One of the drawback of the Thomson model. And next drawback, if you observe is, another drawback about the Thomson model is he could not explain stability of an atom. He could not explain stability of atom. How atom is said to be stable? How this kind of atom is said to be stable form? He could not explain anything about stability of an atom. Another point is it is stationary model. Stationary model means he said that mass of the atom uniformly distributed, mean positive charge is uniformly distributed, electrons are embedded into the sphere. But he could not explain anything moment of electrons. How electrons are moved, where these electrons are moved. He could not explain anything movement. He said that all are fixed, means stationary. That's why I am writing here it is stationary model. Could not explain about movement of electrons. Movement of electrons. So this is another drawback. So there are drawbacks also there for the Thomson model. Based on this Thomson model, a simple model it is, and very first clear model which explains about actually shape of the atom. He only the scientist who first explained that atoms are in spherical shape. After this model, the scientist named by Rutherford, he tried to give the proof about this model. He wanted to give the proof, evidence by his experimentation about structure of an atom. And he conducted an experiment that is said to be alpha ray scattering experiment. From the alpha ray scattering experiment, he wanted to give experimental proof for the structure of an atom. And he observed different types of results, and he has given the another model said to be Rutherford model of an atom. Before explaining about Rutherford model, first we have to understand about the alpha, beta, gamma radiations. Let us understand first, because in alpha ray scattering experiment, the scientist used alpha rays in the alpha ray scattering experiment by Rutherford. So first we have to understand about that alpha, beta, gamma radiations and all. So we have to understand that Henry Becquerel, the scientist named by Henry Becquerel, he explained one phenomenon called as radioactivity. He explained one phenomenon called as radioactivity. What is radioactivity and what are the radioactive elements? He explained the phenomenon. According to Henry Becquerel, and the radioactive phenomenon also that has been invented unexpectedly. Okay, this phenomenon has been explained. The theory, radioactive phenomenon, he explained unexpectedly based on his real experience. So, radioactive phenomenon is, there are certain elements which exhibits or which emit. There are certain elements which emits certain radiations on their own, and that type of phenomenon is said to be radioactivity. I repeat once again, there are certain elements which emit radiations on their own is said to be radioactivity phenomena, and the elements which are emitting radiations on their own are said to be radioactive elements. That radioactivity phenomenon was explained by Henry Becquerel. After this Henry Becquerel, another scientist like Marie Curie, Rutherford, these scientists has been developed the phenomenon called as radioactivity. These scientists developed this phenomenon. So what are the radiations which are emitting from the elements, radioactive elements? These scientists and some other scientists also there, they explain that there are alpha, beta, gamma radiations are emitting from the radioactive elements. Rutherford explained that alpha, beta, gamma radiations are radiations which are coming out from the radioactive elements. And further, Rutherford explained that alpha rays are alpha particles having high energy. These are high energy particles. Rutherford found that alpha particles are high energy particle. They are having +2 unit of charge, and 4 unit of mass. 4 unit of mass. Rutherford explained that alpha particles having +2 unit of charge. The charge of the alpha particle is +2 and mass is 4. So, and this contains helium nucleus. This is equal to helium nucleus. I can write here He plus 2. He plus 2 nothing but this is a alpha particle. Alpha particle. Remember this alpha particle having +2 charge and 4 mass, 4 unit of mass and no electrons. Electrons are not there in the alpha particles. Okay, electrons are absent in the alpha particle. So I can write here no electrons. Electrons are not present in alpha particle. Alpha particle, what is main nucleus in alpha particle? Helium nucleus. Alpha particle contain plus unit of charge and 4 unit of mass. That is He plus 2. Plus 2 charge, 4 unit of mass and no electrons. For alpha particle, if I add 2 electron, for alpha particle, if I add 2 electron, it becomes helium gas. It becomes helium gas, helium atom. Okay. So like that he found that alpha particles are some of the particles which are having very high energy, which is contain plus 2 unit of charge and 4 unit of mass. And there is no electrons in this, which is equal to helium nucleus. Helium nucleus. Remember, there is no electrons in the alpha particle. Alpha particle, if you add electron, it becomes helium gas. Okay. And beta particles similar to like electrons. Beta particles are negatively charged particles. Beta particles are negatively charged particles which are just like electrons. And gamma particles are, these are just radiations. Radiations with high energy. High energy. Gamma radiations are not material particles. Gamma radiations are just like X-rays. They are just like X-rays. These are not material particles like alpha and beta. But they are having more penetrating power. Penetrating power means they can able to go through the material. Penetrating power of alpha, beta and gamma particles is alpha having less, beta next gamma. Gamma particles having more penetrating power than beta and then alpha. Okay, here we have to main focus about the alpha particles. What are alpha particles? And based on this points, we'll explain and use this alpha particle. Rutherford used these alpha particles in this experiment, in his experiment, that is Rutherford alpha ray scattering experiment. Okay, sometimes you may get questions like what is E by M ratio of alpha particles? What is E by M ratio of alpha particles? E by M ratio of alpha particles. Okay, what is E by M ratio? Charge of alpha particle, I already told you, helium 2,4. This is alpha particle. Mean plus 2 unit of charge and 4 unit of mass. This is alpha particle. E by M. Charge of alpha particle is what? 2. And mass of alpha particle 4. That is equal to 0.5. So 0.5 is the charge to mass ratio of alpha particle. Next, let us see experiment, that is Rutherford alpha ray scattering experiment. How he conducted the experiment. So this is the experiment, that is Rutherford alpha ray scattering experiment. This is source of alpha rays or alpha particle. From this alpha particles are generated. This is one lead chamber which can enter into it whenever particles are enter here, and they can coming out easily. Mean particles cannot able to penetrate through lead chamber because it is a very thin chamber. So only small hole will be there. Through that small hole, alpha particles are passed through it. And here I have taken gold foil, very thin sheet. Very thin sheet of gold foil has taken by Rutherford. And you have to understand one point here that Rutherford do not want to do a new experiment about structure of an atom. He wanted to give an evidence or experimental proof for Thomson model. Like what Thomson said? Thomson said that this is an atom, total space of the atom uniformly distributed by positive charge, and somewhere electrons randomly distributed like this. So he wanted to give the experimental proof for this structure of an atom. But after he conducted the experiment, the observations are quite unexpected, surprising observations he noticed. What are the unexpected results is, you see, this is an atom. If I pass alpha rays, I told you, which is having helium nucleus +2 charge. Mean alpha rays having positive charge. What is the charge of alpha rays or alpha particles? Positive charge. Whenever alpha particles are reached to here you can see total charge is positive charge only. Total charge uniformly distributed positive charge only. When alpha rays here are taking gold foil. Gold foil nothing but what? Gold atoms. Gold foil contain so many gold atoms. Every gold atom should be look like this according to Thomson model. If an atom look like this, if an atom is existing like this, when alpha rays are passed through the gold foil, which is containing the atom, these positive charge and positive charge must repel each other. Alpha rays having positive charge, the total sphere of an atom having positive charge. These positive and positive should repel each other, and they have to deviate with small angles. They have to deviate with certain angles. All the rays should deviate from their certain angles, but he did not observe this kind of observations. He did not notice that kind of observations. The results are quite unexpected. What he noticed, what are the observations here is, when rays are passed through gold foil, most of the rays are passing through it. Most of the rays are passing through it, and they are giving bright spots on zinc sulfide coated screen. I already told you in the discovery of cathode rays. This is zinc sulfide coated screen. Whenever light hit on the zinc sulfide screen, it give bright spots. So how could able to identify as most of the rays are passing through the gold foil? Based on this bright spots. Okay, what he observed? Most of the rays are passing through the gold foil. They are not deflecting. They are going through the foil and they are giving the bright spots. And few rays are deviating with certain angles. Few rays they are deflecting with certain angles. And very few rays, 1 out of 20,000 rays, very few rays are bouncing back along their path. They are bouncing back along their path. So these are three main observations. Let us see. I will write here what are three main observations made by Rutherford. These are the three main observations. As I told you, first point is what? Most of the alpha particles passed through gold foil are undeflected. Like this, they are just passing through the foil and they are giving the bright spots. Most of the rays are passing through gold foil. They are not deflecting, they are going straight. Second point is a small fraction of alpha particles, few alpha particles were deflected with certain angles. Like this, these rays are deflected, they are going to gold foil and they are deflecting with certain angles. Okay. Third point is very few rays. I told you 1 out of 20,000 rays. Very few rays are bounced back along their path. Means they are going this way and after reaching to gold foil again they are coming back the same path. That type of rays are very few. So these are three main observations. What he was expected, most of the rays, when I pass the alpha rays, most of the rays will, they will come back, they will give the deflections, they will not pass through the atom. Because Thomson said that total space is positive charge. When the total space is positive charge, alpha rays cannot pass through it because alpha rays are positive. Atom also having total positive. So they should repel each other, they should deflect. But he observed different, unexpected observations. Okay. So based on these observations, Thomson has given conclusions. What are the conclusions made by this experiment? Alpha ray scattering experiment is, you see, first point, as most of the rays passing through the gold foil are undeflected. Based on first point, what we can write conclusion here? Conclusions, first point. From three observations, we write three conclusions. First observation, that is most of the alpha particles passed into the gold foil are undeflecting. Why they are not deflecting? So this is an atom. So if I pass the alpha rays, all are passing through the foil, they are not deflecting. So if they are not deflecting means what? Total space of an atom should be empty. The total space is empty, then only particles can pass through the foil. As Thomson said, if an atom is like this, particles should not pass through it. They have to deviate. They have to deviate like this. Right? This is Thomson model, but this is Rutherford model. Rutherford observed like this. So Rutherford observed that atom is not having the total positive charge inside it. The total space is what? Empty. So I can write here, atom has empty space. I mean total space of an atom. I can write here, total space inside the atom is empty. Total space inside the atom must be empty. If it is empty, then only particles can pass through the atom. Right? Next, second point. Small fraction of alpha particles were deflected with small angles. There are certain particles, a few particles are deflecting. If particles are deflecting means positive charge must be there, but not like Thomson said. Positive charge is not uniformly distributed like Thomson, but the positive charge is distributed in a very small region. When positive charge is located in only small region, whenever rays touch here, they should deviate with certain angles. When rays move here and touch here, what happens? Alpha rays having positive charge, this also positive charge, they should deflect with certain angles. So I can write here, positive charge is concentrated in the small region, not the total space of an atom. So positive charge is concentrated in the small region. Not the total space of an atom was positive charge, like Thomson said. Rutherford telling that most of the space of an atom is empty. And the positive charge is there, but that positive charge is only a small portion. That's why few rays are deflecting. And third one is very few rays are bouncing back along their path. When this kind of possibilities happen, very few rays are bouncing back along their path means whenever one ray out of 20,000 rays, if one ray is moving like this, exactly hit in the middle, it again bounces back along their path. It move like this and touch in the middle, then it can come back. So as very few rays are bouncing back along their path, he can give a conclusion that this positive charge, he called this as nucleus. This nucleus concentrated in the center of the atom. Positive charge nucleus is concentrated the center of the atom. He further noticed that the total volume, the volume of the nucleus, it is very small region positive charge, and where it is located in the small region. This small region in the center of the atom. How it is located means he imagined that volume of the nucleus is very small as compared to the volume of atom. Comparing to volume of the nucleus, compared to volume of the atom, volume of nucleus is very small. Volume of nucleus is very small as compared to very small. I can write here very small compared to volume of the atom. Atom volume is very big, but nucleus volume is very small, and that was conclusions given by the Rutherford. Three important conclusions. One is total space inside the atom is empty. Why he has given this kind of conclusion? Because total rays are passing through the foil are undeflected. That's why in that case the atom should be empty. Next one is positive charge is concentrated in the small region. This is based on the second observation. That is, small rays, few rays are having some deflections. They are not passing through the foil, they are having some deviations, they are deflecting certain angles. When they can deflect with certain angles, when the positive charge is there in the nucleus, in the atom, then the rays can hit at the edges and they can give the deviation with certain angles. And last one is positive charge, that is called as nucleus, concentrated in the center of the atom. Center, whenever it is present in the center, then only a ray can bounce back along their path. Okay, and he further noticed that volume of nucleus is very very small as compared to the volume of the atom. And remember that nucleus not only positive charge, nucleus consisting of protons and neutrons together. Okay, so this was the main conclusions given by the Rutherford model. So let us see the postulates of Rutherford model. Based on alpha ray scattering experiment, he has given few postulates about structure of an atom. You see, first one, the positive charge and most of the atom is densely concentrated in the extremely small region. The positive charge and the total mass, where it is present in a small region, that small region which is responsible for the mass of an atom is said to be nucleus. So atom has spherical in shape, that is correct. In the center we have positive charge, that is said to be along with neutrons, it is said to be nucleus. This is nucleus. Nucleus nothing but protons plus neutrons. Protons, neutrons together called as nucleus. It is also said to be nucleons. Nucleons nothing but the sum of the protons and neutrons is said to be nucleons. So according to the Rutherford model, the total mass of an atom concentrated in the center of the atom, that is said to be nucleus. And next, nucleus is surrounded by electrons with move at high speed, the circular path. These are electrons which move around the nucleus. Where electrons are present? Electrons are present around the nucleus. They are moving with very high velocity in the circular path. These circular paths where electrons are moving is said to be orbits. These are said to be orbits. So this is nucleus which is having protons and neutrons, and this is circular path where electrons are moving, that is said to be orbits. This resembles solar system. In the solar system, in the center sun will be there and planets will be revolving around the sun. Similarly, here nucleus plays the role of sun and electrons plays the role of planets. So like that, electrons will be revolving around the nucleus in a circular path. And volume of the nucleus is very small. Volume of the nucleus is around 10 power minus 15 meters. Okay, volume of nucleus is very small, that is around 10 power minus 15 meters. Volume of atom is 10 power minus 10 meters. 10 power minus 10 meters. So if you observe the cricket stadium, cricket ball is in the center of the ground. That cricket ball we have to imagine as a nucleus. The total ground can be imagined as atom. That much smaller is nucleus compared to volume of the atom. Volume of atom is very bigger and volume of the nucleus is very small. Last one is electrons and nucleus are held together by electrostatic force of attractions. Okay, so between the nucleus and outermost electron there will be electrostatic force of attractions. So this is about the Rutherford model of an atom. Okay, these are about the phosphate.